All right, guys. So I want to start creating more content again. And one of the things I wanted to talk about today was just how to get a woman's respect. So I think a lot of people, without growing up and having maybe the right role models for dating and relationships, that they may end up seeing things in media, movies, music that might get them caught up in bad situations and kind of handling things in a way that is wrong. And obviously, if you have paid attention at all, you might have seen that uh, Diddy just got exposed for some of the ways that he had treated Cassie, which was absolutely awful. And one of the things I think that guys need to understand is that part of masculinity, part of something that women can look up to is seeing that you have self control, seeing that you have the ability to control your emotions, being someone that has self respect, being that you can lead and that you're not going to fall towards the level of your emotions and letting that lead you. That's exactly something that's extremely the opposite of masculine, the opposite of being a mature adult. It's actually very, very much childish. And actually, we know women to be, obviously, there should be no point at where they're hitting you, but getting into your emotions, you're obviously getting more and more feminine. And that's not something that we as men should tolerate from our friends, from our brothers, from our cousins, from our uncles, from our dads. That is something that is to look down upon and frowned upon. And I think that seeing that situation kind of play out, obviously, we don't even need to know what happened between her and him. He should have just left. He should have not talked to her. He should have not gone back and forth. Um, if a girl's not treating you right, you are someone who can meet someone else. I don't care if it takes months or years, but you will lose years of your life being locked up in prison after doing something that's so despicable. Now, obviously, it's looking like something may not actually happen as far as that incident in and of itself. I think they say that it was related to um, some dropped lawsuit from before, but it's still just a good example, to see how out of control that some men can get, and it's not something to look up to. It's not something to to ever joke about. Had that been your sister, wouldn't you actually go after Diddy if you could? If it was your mother, you would. And I think as men, we need to hold ourselves accountable and each other accountable. And that was just a really pathetic video to watch, to see how he had thrown her, hit her, and dragged her. It was really disgusting to see, honestly. But back into like how to get the respect. I think as men, you need to be a guy that has an abundance mindset. If you don't realize your worth or see that there are plenty of options out there, you will continue talking to the girls that don't respect you. You will keep fighting the way a woman should be fighting for you. And then you're all in this feminine, weak position. And it's not something that's ever going to actually benefit you. You're going to be trying to go after and chase a woman that doesn't even want you in the first place. As men, you need to realize that you're the leader. And if you play the numbers game, if you put yourself out there, you're going to find someone that's going to at least give you a chance, right? And I think that you will lose so much self respect dealing with a girl just because she's attractive, even if she and you used to be cooperative or like submissive or feminine and sweet, and she changed. Some things just run their course, and it's just not something that's worth continuing. I've had that happen. This is why I can speak on that. And I know the times that I ever did pursue somebody that wasn't really treating me the same way they did in the beginning in the honeymoon phase, like that that was not someone who was meant for me. And, I think as men, we must make sure that we're also choosing, we're being very selective on who we choose to bring in our lives. If you're a guy that has yourself put together, you've worked on your career, you have your own identity, actually, is the bigger thing. You have your own identity, you have yourself that's, you have every box checked, you're in shape, you have money, or you're at least working towards a goal, financial goals. You have a decent family, you have friends, you have an active social life, you have, even those things alone will set you apart. Now, add in the fact if you have game, which is having strategy, having like understanding women, understanding dating, that's going to take you even further because you're going to actually know how to lead things in a dating or in dating or in a relationship. And, if you actually want to have respect, you actually got to give it. And if it's not being returned to you, guess what? Again, you need to just walk away. You need to just not talk to them and let them be the one reaching out to you, trying to fix things. You should not be the one trying to do that. You need to be able to look yourself in the mirror and see that, hey, I can't take myself for granted either. I can't sit here and think that I don't have things to offer. Someone out there is going to love me and like me or date me. I won't have any problem. It might take a few extra weeks, but whatever. It's not worth the drain on your self-confidence, on your self-esteem to deal with someone that's just not going to treat you the right way. And there's never a situation where you should stoop down to an animalistic level and start yelling, start acting out of character. As men, we need to hold ourselves to high standards, and doing any of those things is just not, it's not fly, it's not pee. It's super, super lame. And I hope to put out more content, and I'll try to do some little topics that are relatable like this. And I hope that I can give back with some wisdom and things that I've learned. I for sure have extremely high standards for women because of the high standards I've set for myself. And I think that that's where it all starts. I listen to a lot of dating coaches and self-development. I've read so many books. I've improved myself so much over the years. And I know that because of all the ways that I have worked on improving my identity to be the most well-rounded masculine man that I can be, when obviously there's still room to grow, it has made all the difference, not just with my dating prospects and everything, but also the quality of my life, my business, everything. And I think that this is not something that's, it's not, responsibility is not a very hot topic, but it's something that is quiet and important. It's something that will rule your life. If you are not someone that will hold yourself accountable to high standards, to the right behaviors, to the right attitudes, to the right mindsets, then you're just not going to have the life that you really, really want. You have to be very self-aware, and from that, be able to hold yourself accountable to the actions, behaviors, and mindset that will lead to a life that you can actually be proud of. So boys, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you again soon. If I can get this thing off.